Hi guys, this is Sadek from Debugging.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to install the latest Kali Linux NetHunter ROM onto your Redmi Note 10 Pro. So after installing this ROM, you will be able to carry out quite a lot of tweaks. For example, you could carry out Mac changer, Next changer, USB attacks, Wi-Fi attacks, HID attacks. Then, as you can see from this list as well, Duck Hunter HID, deauthentication, Pineapple connector, MITM framework. You could carry out all these tweaks onto your phone and on other Android phone and PC as well. But before starting, do note that this is just an educational video and should not be used for malicious intent. You should only use for education purpose, and whatever tweaks you are going to carry out, please do so at your own risk. So with that in mind, you might already be aware of all the security aspects of the Kali Linux NetHunter, so I'm not going into details. I'll just show you how to flash and set up for the usage. Moreover, this NetHunter ROM is based on the PixelOS ROM, so you will be getting a clean stock OS experience. This PixelOS is based on Android 13, so apart from all the goodies that you are getting with the NetHunter ROM, you will also be getting a clean stock OS with the latest Android 13 ROM. So on that note, let's get started. First and foremost, please take a backup of all the data on your phone. So once that is done, your first course of action is to download the Android SDK platform tools. This is the official ADB binary given by Google and is required to execute ADB command. So get it from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You can extract them anywhere you want. As you could see in my case, I've done the extraction in C drive, and these are the files of platform tools. Once you have done so, your next course of action is to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. USB debugging is required to execute ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's now carry out both this task. For that, go to settings menu, then go to about phone, then you have to go to detailed info and specs and tap on MIUI version 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now a developer. So go back, again go back. Now go to additional settings and you should now see developer option. Go there and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You will get a prompt on your phone. So check mark, I am aware of all the risk, and then you will have to wait for 10 seconds. Once that time frame has elapsed, just tap on OK and you might now get an RSA key prompt. So again tap on OK. So with this, debugging is enabled. Let's now verify the debugging connection. So go to platform tools folder address bar, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools. Now type in ADB devices and hit enter. Make sure that you are getting a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug the phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging and use the official cable that came with your phone. So carry out this USB tweaks and make sure that you are getting an ID. So once you are getting this ID, your next course of action is to now unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that doing so will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void as well. So if that's well and good, you could refer to my guide and the video to get this job done. Once that is done, your next course of action is to flash the latest firmware. So first off, please make sure that you are on the latest available update. In my case, I'm using the India build. So at the time of recording, it's the latest 14010. So if you see if there is any pending updates over here, make sure to download the updates. However, if there is no update here, then you're on the latest available firmware. Anyways, just to be double sure, you could still verify and flash the latest firmware from this site. You could download it and then go to my guide and simply flash the firmware via Orange Fox or TWRP recovery. Or if you want, you may simply use the Fastboot command as well. So let me show you. I have listed the command. Just a minute. So these are the Fastboot command. You can also flash the individual files. It's just for flashing the latest firmware. You could even do so using the TWRP or Orange Fox recovery. If you cannot install the update from here, then you can flash the firmware from here as well. Once you are on the latest firmware, let's now move on to the next step. So now you will have to download the PixelOS ROM. As I have told you in the beginning, the Kali NetHunter ROM is based on the PixelOS ROM, and this is not just any PixelOS ROM, but this PixelOS ROM comes inbuilt with a few Kali NetHunter tweaks as well. So please make sure to download this ROM itself. This ROM has been made by XGA member, as you can see its name. So please download this ROM itself, and once you have got this ROM, you will have to transfer the ROM file inside the platform tools folder on your PC. So let me now transfer the ROM file over here. So copy it and paste it here. Next up, you will also have to download the Magisk zip file. It's obvious that for running the Kali Linux, we need a rooted environment. So download the latest Magisk zip from my guide. The Magisk are now being in the APK file. That's not an issue. So at the time of recording, it's the version 26.1. So click on it and then download it from here. Or you could also refer to the official changelog from here. So once you have got the APK, you will also have to paste the APK over here as well. So simply copy the Magisk APK and paste it inside the platform tools folder on your PC. So with this, we have got both the Magisk and the ROM. So let's now move ahead. So now our next course of action is to boot our phone to Fastboot mode. For that, simply open CMD window and type in adb reboot bootloader and hit enter. And your phone should now boot into Fastboot mode in a matter of few seconds. So let's just wait for the time frame. As you could see, we are now in the Fastboot mode. So let's now verify the Fastboot connection. So type in Fastboot devices and hit enter, and make sure that you are getting a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then you will have to install Fastboot drivers. I have made a separate guide and a video on the same. You could refer to this guide and install the Fastboot drivers. Once that is done, right click on the Windows icon and choose Device Manager. Then expand the Android phone section and make sure that your phone has been shown as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the serial ID, signifies that your PC is able to read the phone in Fastboot mode, and you could now move ahead. So moving on, we will now have to first flash the TWRP recovery onto our phone. So for flashing, before flashing, let's first boot our phone to the recovery, and if our phone boots to TWRP recovery, we will then permanently flash it. So here we are using this approach because we could then verify if the recovery is working or not. So if we first boot our phone to recovery, and if it's working well and good, so we could then move ahead and permanently flash it. So let's refer to my guide over here, and you could download the recovery file as well. So we have checkmarked the initial few requirements. So you could now download the recovery file from here, and once you have got the recovery IMG file, simply you have to place the recovery IMG file inside the platform tools folder on your PC. So let me do that as well. Just a minute. So this is the recovery file for our phone. Simply paste it here in the platform tools folder. So with this, we have got the recovery file, and as I have told you, first off we will boot our phone to the recovery, and if it's working well and good, we will then flash it. So for the ease of convenience, let's rename the file to just TWRP. Now the complete name becomes TWRP.img, and we will now boot our phone to this recovery. So type in fastboot boot TWRP.img and hit enter, and your phone should now boot into the TWRP recovery. If our phone boots into this recovery, then it means that the recovery file is working well and good, and we could then permanently flash it. So let's just verify the same. So as you could see, our phone is now booted into recovery. So let's now make the recovery permanent. For that, you could either use the TWRP recovery itself, or you could use the fastboot command. As of now, I'm taking the easier approach. That is, let's flash the TWRP using the recovery itself. So for that, you just have to copy the recovery IMG file and paste the recovery IMG file onto your phone. So simply paste it here, and we will then flash this recovery IMG file using the TWRP recovery itself to the recovery partition. You could also boot your phone to Fastboot mode and then flash the recovery to the recovery partition, but let's now use the TWRP recovery itself. So go to install and then tap on install image, and the recovery.img file should now be visible. Select it and choose the recovery partition and swipe to confirm flash. So with this, the recovery has been flashed. Once that is done, go back, again go back, select reboot and choose recovery. Your phone should now reboot to the TWRP recovery. It's extremely important that you have to reboot your phone to recovery after flashing the recovery. So with this, our phone has booted to recovery, and let's now move ahead to the next step. So we have now flashed the recovery as well. So moving on, we now have to sideload the PixelOS ROM and Magisk. So now comes the second most important part. The most important part is after that. So even though we are using the TWRP recovery, we don't have to flash the ROM using the install method. Rather, we have to use the ADB sideload method to flash the ROM. Yes, we will not be using the install method. So with that in mind, first off, you will have to do a format data. Doing so will wipe off all the data from your phone. So make sure you have taken the backup beforehand. Once that is done, go to wipe, select format data, type in yes and hit the blue check mark, and this will wipe off all the data from your phone. Once that is done, go back, again go back, again go back, and now we have to sideload the ROM. So go to advanced, then select ADB sideload and swipe to start sideload. Now our phone is now in the ADB sideload mode. So for the ease of convenience, let's rename the ROM file to simply ROM, and the complete name becomes rom.zip. Similarly, let's rename the Magisk file to Magisk and change the extension from APK to zip. You will get a prompt, so click on yes. So with this, we have got the magisk.zip and the rom.zip. First off, let's verify if our phone is in the ADB sideload mode or not. So type in ADB devices and hit enter, and make sure that we are getting the sideload keyword. Once you are getting the sideload keyword, you could now sideload the ROM file by using the ADB sideload and the name of the file, which is rom.zip, and hit enter. The sideloading of the ROM will now start, and it could take up to a couple of minutes. So just to repeat, you will not have to use the flash method or the install method. Rather, you will have to use the sideload method of TWRP to get this job done. And the sideloading of the ROM usually takes around a couple of minutes. So make sure to rename the file to rom.zip. By default, the ROM will already be in the zip format. Just rename it to ROM so that it becomes easier to type in the CMD window. Likewise, we have renamed the Magisk file to Magisk and changed the extension from APK to zip so that it becomes easier to type in the CMD window. And moreover, you cannot sideload the APK file, so we have to change the extension from APK to zip as well. However, if you cannot see the file extension, then that's not an issue. Simply hit the overflow icon over here, and from here, or rather the view icon. So hit the view button, then click on show and check mark file name extension, and this will bring up the file name extension, and you could then change it from APK to zip. So with that said, the ROM is currently being sideloaded. It could take up to a couple of minutes, so let's just wait and then we'll be back. So guys, the flashing of the ROM has now been done, and our next course of action is to now sideload the Magisk zip file. So let's do that as well. For that, go back and from the advanced menu again select ADB sideload and swipe to start sideload. So with this, we are in the ADB sideload mode. Let's verify the same. So just type in ADB devices and make sure that we are getting the sideload keyword. Once we are getting this keyword, we could now sideload the Magisk zip file. So type in ADB sideload and the name of the file, which is magisk.zip, and it will now be sideloaded as well. It will take only a few seconds, and yes, you could see 164%. That's just a UI bug and nothing to worry about. So the flashing of Magisk has started, and it will take only a few seconds. So even though the Magisk is not flashed, but it's being done so in the back end. In the front end, we still have to install the APK and do a few updates. I will show you that as well. Anyway, as you could see, we have flashed the Magisk as well. So with this, we have flashed the Magisk as well as a ROM file, and we could now reboot to the system. So just tap on reboot system, and our phone will now boot to the PixelOS. As of now, you will not see any major changes to the PixelOS ROM because we haven't flashed anything with regards to the Kali ROM or the NetHunter ROM. So as of now, it should be just a stock OS without any major changes. Moreover, do keep in mind that a first boot up will take up some additional time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. So let's just wait for the time frame, and it could take up to around 25 to 30 seconds for the initial boot up. From the subsequent boot up time, that will not be that much longer. In the meantime, let's do one thing. Let's have the Magisk APK file ready as well. So make sure to have a Magisk APK file we will now transfer this APK file onto our phone and then install it as well. So make sure that you have the APK file, because as of now the Magisk zip file has been flashed in the backend. In the front end, we will have to install the Magisk APK file and then do around 2 to 3 updates as well. I will show you each of these steps. So let's just wait for our phone to boot up. This is just the one-time delay from subsequent time. That will not take that much longer. So let's just copy the Magisk APK file and keep it ready for the time frame. Only a few more seconds are left, and then so as you could see, we are now in the ROM. So I'm simply skipping the initial setup because we have quite a few other tasks remaining at our hands as well. So let me set up offline. Let's accept all the terms and conditions. Let me skip this as well. So with this, we are in the OS. As I have told you before, it's just the bare-bone PixelOS with no additional features as of now. So first off, open the File Manager app. It's the default Google File Manager app. Then go to the storage. And okay, before that, change the USB to the file transfer. And now you have to transfer the Magisk APK file onto your phone. So let's do that as well. So with this, we have got the Magisk APK file. And let's now install the APK file. So launch the Files app and then install the APK file. Then go to the settings and enable allow from this source and then tap on install. And the Magisk will now be installed in a matter of few seconds. So once that is done, launch the Magisk app and it will ask you to require additional setup. So tap on OK, then tap on install, then choose direct install and tap on let's go. So it will now carry out a few tasks and it will automatically undergo a reboot. But our task has still not been completed. We might require one more reboot from Magisk. So I'll show you that as well. You don't have to do anything manually. Just launch the Magisk app, and if it shows any prompt, you have to just follow that instruction. So as of now, it's asking us to do a direct install, which we have just done. So it might ask us to do that once again. So let me launch the Magisk app right now and see whether that's the case or not. So again, it's asking for additional setup. So whenever Magisk asks for additional setup, just tap on OK and always choose direct install and then tap on let's go. So it will now patch and flash the boot INT file in the backend. Once that is done, just tap on reboot and our phone should now hopefully boot to the rooted OS. And this time around, our phone should be rooted. In most cases, only we require a couple of tries, but in rare cases, you might require one more attempt. So let's just wait and check out the result, whether that's the case or not. It will take only a few seconds to boot up. So let's see what is the result of the Magisk. Let's launch the Magisk app and see if we have obtained root or not. Just a minute. So as of now, we are not getting any more prompt. So this means that we have obtained root, and as you could see, we have installed the latest build. Next to the app, we are getting init. That is not an issue because we are currently offline, so it cannot check for the latest version. But we have installed the latest build of the Magisk, which is 26.1. So now we can move ahead with the next step. So moving on, we have flashed the ROM as well as the Magisk, and now we have to flash the Kali NetHunter image. For that, you could get hold of the image file from this. So there are quite a few build of this. As you could see, 344A12. As of now, I recommend you to go to the 2023.2. So we are using this directory, as you could see, and from here you have to download the generic build. By generic, I mean it's common for all the phones. For example, all these builds are specific for any specific phone. But by generic build, we means that it's common for all the phones. After that comes the CPU architecture. It should be ARM64, and then it's the name Kali FS, and it's recommended to download the full and not the nano file. Likewise, don't go for the torrent file, rather download the zip file. So as of now, you should download this file, NetHunter 2023.2. Just a minute, it's the generic build. So this is the build as you could see. Let me show you. So this is the build which you should download. I have given the name of the build over here as well. So NetHunter 2023.2 generic build ARM64 Kali FS and the full file, and it should be a zip file. So the three things to keep in mind are the generic build, ARM64 CPU architecture, and it should be a full, not the nano or light version, and it should be a zip file and not the torrent file. So make sure to you could use this file as well if you want. So just download this file, and once you have got this file, you will now have to transfer it onto your phone. So let's change the USB file transfer mode to file transfer from here, and let me now transfer the file. So this is the NetHunter generic ARM64 Kali FS full.zip file. So now transfer this file onto your phone, and it might take some time. That is completely normal, not an issue. So let's just wait. So in the meantime, as I was saying, you could go to this link, and from here you should download the 2023.2 builds, and inside this, these are for specific phones which we don't want. We want the generic build, and these are the generic build. Inside the generic build, download the ARM64 Kali FS full.zip. You could use this version, but in the future, if you come across my video, then this link might not be valid because they may update it with a new version. So in that case, that is why I'm saying instead of this, you could also copy this link, and from here you could access the latest build as well. So at the time of recording, this is the latest build link which I've given here. So you could use this link. In the near future, this link might not be valid. So you could use this official link and get the job done. Anyways, the file is being transferred. It will take only a few more seconds. Once that is done, we will now have to flash this file via Magisk, and this flashing takes around 25 minutes. Yes, as surprising as it might sound, the flashing usually takes up to 20-25 minutes. So in that case, you just have to wait for the time frame, and you couldn't do anything. So let's just wait for the download to complete, and then we'll flash the module. The flashing is as simple as you flash any other Magisk module, but the time frame usually takes around 25 minutes. This is because we are using the full build, and in the full build we will be getting all the Kali Linux modules and tweaks. That is why I use the full version. In the light version, you will be missing out on numerous tweaks and goodies. So that is why I use the full version, and I'll show you all the tweaks. So with this, we have transferred the module file onto our phone. So let's now flash it via Magisk. So launch the Magisk app, then go to modules, tap on install from storage, and now you have to select your phone, then select the module file. It's around 1.98 GB. Now you'll get a prompt, so tap on OK, and the flashing will now start in a couple of seconds. So wait for around 10 to 15 seconds, and the flashing will then start, and after that you will have to wait for around 25 minutes. So let me at least show you the initial flashing screen. So let's wait for the flashing to start. So as you could see, the flashing has now started. The initial flashing of the APK files usually takes only a few seconds, but after that the major binary files of the flashing will take around 25 minutes, and it will show you that message as well. Once that, so as you could see, extracting Kali root FS, this will take up to 25 minutes. So let's now wait for the time frame, and then we'll be back. So guys, the flashing is now complete. It only took around 7 to 8 minutes and not 25 minutes. So anyways, once the flashing is done, just tap on reboot, and your phone should now reboot to the OS. And this time around, we should have got a few Kali Linux NetHunter goodies. So we'll verify the same. So let's just wait for the time frame, and our phone should now boot to the OS, and then we could verify the tweaks as well. So it will take only a few seconds to boot up, and then we could move ahead. So let's just wait, and the wallpaper should also have changed. So as you could see, we are now in the Kali Linux NetHunter. So let's now unlock our phone, and as soon as we go to the app drawer, you could see first and foremost, tap on grant next to the Kali Linux Magisk request. It's asking for the Magisk request because it wants a rooted environment. So tap on grant. Now moving on, as I was saying, as you could see, we have a couple of NetHunter apps. This is the main app, NetHunter, using which you could manage all the goodies of Kali Linux. Then we have the NetHunter Kex app as well. Apart from that, this is the NetHunter store, from where you could download and install all the types of NetHunter apps that you want. I'll show you that as well. And lastly, we have the NetHunter terminal, from wherein you could type in the desired commands as well. So first and foremost, launch the NetHunter app, and it might now ask you to for the Magisk request, or in my case I've already done so. So once that is done, you will now get a prompt that Kali Chroot is not installed or not running. That's not an issue. Just tap on the hamburger menu, and as you could see, currently all the settings are disabled. So just tap on Kali Chroot Manager, and then from here tap on the bottom left, start Kali Chroot. So tap here, and with this the Kali Chroot has started running, and you will get a notification that Kali Chroot is up. So with this, we are now running the Kali Chroot, and if you now tap on the hamburger menu, you could see we now have all the tweaks and all the hacks at our disposal. So you could carry out all these tweaks, and I am quite sure that most of you will be looking forward to carrying out attacks itself. It's completely up to you. So this is the WPS attacks. You could scan for WPS router and then carry out the attacks as well, and you might get a few logs. This is completely normal. You don't have to start Chroot every time. As you could see, the Chroot is already in the backend, and you could access them all the time. Just when you are done using all the stuffs, if you want, you can tap on stop Kali Chroot. Currently, I don't want to stop. Next up, as I have told you, you could also access the Kali NetHunter store from here. Okay, for that you have to go online. So currently I'm offline. You could access the store and get access to all the apps, download and install. There are quite a lot of apps, and so these are all the apps that you could get from here as well. So as you can see, there are quite a lot of apps that you could install onto your phone and get the job done. As of now, we already have the terminal, the store, the Kex, and the NetHunter. But apart from that, the Hijacker, Hacker's Keyboard, ConnectBot, and all these apps you could download from here, and the ORBot, the proxy with Tor, as you might be aware about this. So you can install this app from the NetHunter App Store as well. And then we have the terminal window. If you want to execute any terminal, then you could use from here. These are the three options. You could use the Android SU with the root permission, the Android with the normal, and the Kali with the Kali permission. It's completely up to you. If you choose the Android SU, then you will have to grant the root permission as well. So with that said, after flashing the Kali Linux, we also have got a few modules. Let me now show you that modules as well. Those modules does not have a UI of their own, so you will have to use an app, either the NetHunter terminal app, or you could also use an app such as Termux. The Termux app is easier to use, so let me show you that as well. So you could install the Termux app from Play Store. So let me quickly install the app as well. It will only take a few seconds. So here's the Termux app onto my phone. Let me now install it. So this is the Termux app. So as I was saying, once you have flashed the ROM, so apart from these modules, the modules are also placed inside the vendor library modules directly, and you could only access them via a terminal app such as Termux. So once you have installed the app, simply launch it and give it the permission. Now you have to just type in ls. Ls stands for list, and then space slash. I've given the complete command. Then type in the location, which is vendor slash lib, which stands for library, and slash modules. Modules has a S at the end. So it will now list out all the modules. As you could see, now if you want to use any of these modules, then you have to just use this command. Just make sure to change the name of the module at the end. The rest of the commands should remain the same. we also have to use the su command super user. So after that, you will get a Magisk prompt. Make sure to tap on grant and then just change the module name from here, and the rest of the command will be same. So you could also use this module from here, and apart from that, you already have the NetHunter app from wherein you could carry out all the tasks. As you could see from here, you could use all these apps and carry out the task from here as well. So you could check and install the terminal apps, Bluetooth, hacking, all these stuffs could be carried out from here. Let me close it and go back. And there are quite a lot of things to carry out. And if you go to the home, you could also verify all the status. As you could see, the root status is Magisk 46.1 latest build. So just tap on run and it will verify the same. It's verified. The kernel version, BusyBox version, and you could carry out all these tweaks. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.